Chapter 10, The Lights and the Trees. The group started to notice some cords and wires in the woods. Following them, they made their way through the woods to find themselves at a popular-looking venue. Sarah, what might this be?
Oh, I forgot to mention, the local motorway does a drive-through light display and indoor tree display. Far less superior to ours. I think you may want to rethink that, Sarah. From the puzzle we're in, Jenna mentioned. The men that BJ sent then emerged from the woods and they saw their targets making their way to the motorway. There was a reasonable-sized line of cars going through the lighted tunnels and past displays of all different types. Dare I say this is, well, lit? Regarded 00 Slutty. A definite contender for your great Christmas light fight in America, Sarah said.
How long has this been going on? It must have competed with your display.
Like I said, nothing like our display. However, this is their 20th year, and it always seems to make a profit while doing it. We've never been worried. I think we should, Jenna said, pointing to the group of men coming.
Look for something to use, Bond insisted. They all looked around until Bond disappeared. He then pulled up in a vehicle that read, Santa Express. That's our dear old James, always thinking, 00 Slutty said. They all climbed in, and the men noticed them and got in a couple carts that were by the entrance of the motorway. The train went through the display, and men were in pursuit. The lights were all practically a blur. Bond then stopped the train at a building at the end of the display. He called out for the others to follow him. They found themselves surrounded by trees. Ah, this must be the other event. But another explanation if you would, Sarah.
Oh yes, the annual Festival of Trees. People bid on different Christmas trees and win what's on it and around it.
Perhaps the perfect plan to pine our pursuer. Bond pointed to 4 big trees in the vicinity and directed all 4 of them to hide behind them. The group of men then walked in, and Bond nodded his head for him, 00 Slutty, Sarah, and Jenna to tip over their trees and have them collapse onto the men. Sarah jumped for joy and into the arms of the man she thought was Bond. Wrong Bond, my dear, BJ said. Jenna started to run to 00 Slutty's side, but was grabbed by Jaws. 2 additional men then grabbed the spies and brought them over to BJ. I must say that this goose chase is rather getting tiresome, wouldn't you say? And since it's Christmas, it's getting fat as well, 00 Slutty added.
You won't get away with this, Jenna shouted.
BJ slowly walked over to her in the arms of Jaws. You're absolutely right. For it won't be my hands who cause your death. Jaws, squeeze this doll and see what happens. Jaws looked down, and then back up at Bond. Jaws, remember the Moonraker. Jaws looked around, and then dropped Jenna. He came over to one of the biggest trees in the room and crouched down. He then opened his mouth and bit the bottom of the tree, and it started to fall towards BJ. Jules, stop this at once! BJ pulled out a gun and started firing until the gun clicked. The bullets flew all around, with the group dodging them. It's going down, and I'm yelling timber. The tree then collapsed onto BJ and knocked him out. Sarah and Jenna both went to embrace Bond and 00 Slutty. Jaws looked off and smiled with his big metal teeth, and Bond smiled back.
Daniel, are we safe now?
Yes, darling, I think we are.
I don't think I could have doctored up anything better myself.
Who better to do it than us?
James, if you and Daniel don't mind, London has proven itself to have quite a few Christmas-themed attractions. Could we go to one more?
Why not? However, before we leave, perhaps we should help people spruce up things, given our actions toward these trees. As they were cleaning up, Bond made some arrangements on his phone, and then soon found a way to get to Sarah's location. Bond directed his hand to the back door of where the Festival of Trees was being held. Outside, waiting, was a horse-drawn sleigh. The Maxwell sisters smiled in delight, and 00 Slutty nodded at his partner, and Bond nodded back. This will get us there. In style, I think, 00 Slutty concluded. After what became a romantic sleigh ride, what between Bond and Sarah, and even 00 Slutty and Jenna, also complete with hot chocolate, the group pulled up to a place entitled The Great Fairy Tale Village.